Hello, you good people of YouTubes. It's Neil from Tracklocross, back again to ruin your lovingly curated algorithm. Today, we're going to carry on with our philosophy of Tracklocross and look into part 2 of Existentialism. I'll have part 1 linked below and hopefully on a card floating about the screen somewhere. So without further ado, let's get into authenticity, irony, and the DIY ethic. The existentialist call to authenticity resonates deeply within the Tracklocross community, albeit in a manner tempered by irony. In existentialist terms, authenticity involves owning one's actions and values without recourse to external justification. For Heidegger, it involved an acceptance of being towards death. For Sartre, it meant rejecting bad faith. In Tracklocross, it involves building a bike that is wholly inappropriate for the task at hand and then riding it anyway. Tracklocross bikes are typically cobbled together from scavenged parts, repurposed frames and homemade solutions to problems most sensible cyclists would avoid altogether. The aesthetic is one of defiant practicality. A rack zip tied to a track frame, a bottle cage bolted to a seat post, a brake lever from an old BMX. These are not accidents, they are assertions of agency in the face of absurdity. Each mechanical compromise, each taped over frame dent is a statement. I built this, I choose this, I accept what it will, and more importantly, won't do. Humour here plays an existential role, much like Kierkegaard's concept of the Knight of Faith, who simultaneously embraces the absurd and acts in defiance of it. The Tracklocrosser lives in contradiction. They laugh in the face of the terrain, the weather, their own limitations. This is not mockery, but a recognition of the comic in the tragic, the absurd in the earnest. A rider may joke about their decision to run 25mm tyres on a muddy course, but in doing so, they assert the freedom of their choice. They are not victims of circumstance, they are co-authors of the absurdity. There can be no discussion of existentialism without reference to angst, the uneasy awareness of freedom, the vertigo of possibility. It is, according to Heidegger, the mood in which one becomes aware of being itself. In Tracklocross, angst is most often encountered at the top of a steep technical descent. The front wheel points down, the rear wheel skids as soon as the rider applies back pressure, and every rational part of the brain whispers that this is a terrible idea. And yet there is no gear to shift down into, no brakes to modulate with nuance. The only way out is through. In these moments, the rider is confronted with a clarity rare in modern life. There are no algorithms, no distractions, no outside justifications. There is only the rider, the bike, the descent. The possibility of falling looms large, but so too does the possibility of success, of cleanly navigating the terrain, of transcending the limitations of man and machine through sheer will and balance. If one should fall, well, Kierkegaard would most likely applaud the effort. To dare is to lose one's footing momentarily. Not to dare is to lose oneself. Moreover, there is an embrace of what Camus calls the leap, not into faith, as with Kierkegaard, but into action despite absurdity. The fixed gear descent, the wheelie over tree roots, the commitment to pedal when all muscle fibers scream to stop. These are leaps of faith in one's embodied self. The fall is always possible and frequently probable. But so too is the exhilaration of success earned not through technology, but through engagement. There we go, that was a quick whirlwind through existentialism. Hopefully this and part 1 have not bored you too much and you've enjoyed them. So as usual, if you like that, like and subscribe, give a comment if you want, but remember, I'm not your mum, so I can't tell you what to do. So now, most importantly, get out and enjoy the rest of your day and do good. Thanks for watching.